I think now, at least in my perspective, I'm starting to think about what are the next moves for me and how is it going to help with my game. And I think now, possibly after this vote, I need to start maybe trying to build up my resume. And I think it's going to be kind of tricky because the 5 of us are pretty tight. And so I'll have to find a way to maneuver through that and make things to go in my favor. But I'll see what I can do.
As far as my team and what we're kind of an alliance, what we're doing right now, I like where it's headed. I like at our strategy and what we're doing. I can say I can see as much as it might bite me in the ass in the end, I can see myself and Corey and Phill maybe in the final 3. But we'll just have to see where that transpires. Obviously, it's no ill will to any other members of the Alliance. They've played their part, and it's been amazing so far. And we'll just have to see where the cookie crumbles on this one. I'm excited for my first one that I have made it this far. So
final 7. How's everyone feeling?
Feels good.
Good, yeah.
Better than being in Ponderosa. I'll tell you that.
Do that.
Yeah, Ponderosa is only in 2 years in Fiji, not before.
All right, let's get into the next immunity challenge.
Got it, Lauren. What do you got?
All right, for this challenge, you guys are going to be playing pull and fall. Here's how it works. You are going to stack a total of 3 solo cups. 2 index cards are going to be placed in between the second and the third cup. You are going to then have to pull them to land, just as McKenna showed you. This is a round-by-round game. Last person to finish in each round is out until we have our final person remaining. Therefore, that person will be the winner of immunity. Round 1, survivors ready, go. They're stacking index cards with solo cups, and they have to pull so the cups land on top of each other.
Done.
Corey's in. Jeremy's falls.
I'm in.
Done.
Phil's in.
Looking for 3 more.
Done.
Austin. Between Jeremy, Karen, and Carlo.
Jeremy's in.
All right, Karen and Carlo. Last spot. Who's it going to?
Carlos falls. Karen's in.
Carlo, you've been eliminated.
Oh, we were in sync with that. That was good.
See? Dynamic duo.
All right, Carlo is out of this challenge. We are now down to 6. Everyone's cups get set. Round 2, survivors ready, go. You're on the second round. Carlo was eliminated in round 1. Phill stacked quickly.
Phil's got it.
In. David stacked falls. Jeremy trying to steady his.
Done.
Jeremy's in.
I'm done.
Corey. David, Karen, and Austin.
Done.
Austin's in.
Coming.
David's got it. Karen.
In. Karen has been eliminated. Down to 5. Round 3. Survivors ready. Go. Karen eliminated on the last round. We now have Jeremy, Austin, Phill, Corey, and
I'm done.
Phill in it. Austin.
Done.
Phil's
I'm
in.
done.
Corey's in.
Jeremy. So Jeremy's good. David is out. David's out.
David eliminated on round 3. We're now down to Jeremy, Austin, Corey, and Phill.
Guys, put your cups in a stack.
Well, I
Literally no one but Austin has one stack right now.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Round 4. Survivors ready. Go.
got it.
Corey's done.
Corey's in. Austin is restacking. Jeremy's trying to study his.
Jeremy's in.
Round 5. We got Jeremy, Corey, and Phill. Survivors ready. Go.
Phill.
Corey done.
Corey.
Corey, we're down to our final 2 in Corey and Phill for round number 6. First person to finish wins immunity. Survivors ready. Go. Phill stacking very quickly. Oh, Phill falls. Corey falls.
Done.
Phill
Nice
wins
job,
immunity.
Nice job.
Yes.
All right. Phill has won immunity, safe from the vote. Everyone else is vulnerable. Begin to scramble.
Well, for as far as being a competition beast, I think that may be putting a target on my back, but at this point, I can't do anything else. I can't stop trying to win immunity, so it's like so now I pretty much just have to try to win every single immunity, and I could be at risk. As far as trusting my group, obviously for this round, I trust them because they can't vote me out. So if things go the way they're supposed to go, then I can keep trusting them. And we could keep taking our 4 to the final 4 with Corey, Jeremy, and Karen.
If that 4 can stick together, I'm really cool with that because nobody wants Phill to get to the end because everybody thinks he'll win. So in that 4, if everybody wants Phill out at 4, that's great for me, because that's not me they want out at 4. And if Austin is on the bottom of that, then this could potentially be great for me, but never get confident and because sometimes those people on the bottom realize it and then you're gone. Do you know if David has the idol?
Nope. I honestly, the only thing I heard about the idol was when we had the choice. I never heard about any possibilities of getting stuff. So I was actually wondering on a mechanic standpoint and how do we know where to look for, what to look for. The only thing was when we heard it about David, as far as I'm concerned. And it never came out in conversation as well.
And my only move that I can make right now is basically to play an idol. Now, what I don't know is whether they're going to be targeting me or targeting Carlo. Since they can split the votes, they're probably going to put more on me. Man. Yeah, I'm not in a good spot.
He's gone. Okay, so we're good, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I feel like a good final 4, you, me, Phill.
And Corey?
Yes.
Now, what I'm trying to do is get a 3-2 vote on David and Carlo. Trying to put 3 on David, 2 on Carlo, so that if David has the idol and he doesn't play it, he goes home. If he plays it, then Carlo will go home, hopefully. Next round is the big round because that's where I'm going to have to start deciding how I'm going to try and use potentially trying to use Austin and maybe Phill and Karen to get Jeremy out. Or, yeah, I'm looking at Jeremy as a potential to get out on the next vote before Carlo were to go, or David, whichever one survives this round goes home. I'd like to maybe get Jeremy out.
Yeah.
We're thinking is just do a simple 3-2 split and put 3 on David. We could try and flush this idol out and just get it out of here now. Because if David gets through this round with the idol in his possession, then one of us is screwed on the next round. I'm not going to leave it at camp. That's for sure. I'm going to take it with me, and there's a good chance that it might make an appearance.
But I keep hearing things about split votes and this person, and now Corey's disappearing again.
Yeah, I don't know what move you want to make, but obviously, I don't have much power, and if you need me to vote a certain way to help you in some way, I will. But
what are you thinking? What would you like to see happen? I'm pretty open.
Honestly, I'm not even gonna throw a name out because I'm kind of in survival as long as it's not me mode right now. So
I thought we had a perfectly laid out plan early on, and it kind of worked in the very early days. I'm still on the line of thinking that Phill backstab us, or like flip on the other side. Maybe we did not talk with him a lot, and that tipped him off that he may have been on the bottom of our tribe den.
It's clearly you're working kind of with the other side now, but a
little. I mean,
yeah.
Well, no, let's face it. It's the game. You have it.
No, it's the game. It's the game.
Yeah.
You have the upper end. If you need
Right.
us, then that's what it
Yeah.
is right now. Because
Right.
eventually things gonna crack. So
yeah.
Right.
So man, everybody's pulling Corey.
Yeah, I mean, Corey seems to be pretty central to the ongoings.
Yeah.
It's gonna have to happen at some point.
I would think so. Yeah, I mean, he's certainly the one to beat right now. Well, if you think you have the numbers to maybe pull a fast one on him, I'm obviously willing to vote that way.
all right, guys. Obviously, things didn't went the way we expected it to be, at least on my end. So, do you have any ideas and stuff? We're 7, so eventually your side's gonna have to break out one way or the other. So 7 is a non-number, which is pretty good for somebody like me to get the 4th vote that you need.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
Who would you want voted out?
Everything that we tried so far, I think things were going to. I think things went well according to early on, and then somebody from our side flipped on. So considering how the heads are falling right now, my guess estimate is Phill. He did what he had to do, and that's perfectly fine. That's part of the game. But eventually, you'll have to foresee that there's like basically 3-on-3. I don't know where your alliance stands, but I am up for any name as long as it's not me at this point. So I just laid out my proposal to Jeremy and Karen. Since they have a name to pitch in something, things will have to cut off eventually, and the deciding vote will be in the middle since we are an odd number. So I'm hoping that it will put me through a little bit further, and who knows what can happen then with immunity and immunity idols.
Yeah, he was trying to pitch to us that he wants to make a move later on in the game is what he wants to do. So he's trying to keep himself alive for this round.
Who?
Carlo.
Okay.
So
If we can stick together, then we're golden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As long as this 4, I'm freaking talking shit to them, but because from what they're saying to me, they got their eye on Corey, but there's no number there.
That's going to be the obvious on every round.
At this stage, I'm ready to say Phill to them.
I mean, I say go for Corey again, and
Okay.
That's the only person that they seem to be pondering, and maybe I'll just let them know.
You may have better vibes than I have towards that end. So
no, I've been talking to Phill and Jeremy, and they definitely said that they know that he needs to go. So hopefully,
well, as long as it's us, not us.
Yeah, I will say I have not, from what we were talking about, your name did not come up, so I can say that.
Okay.
I don't know if that swings you in any sort of way, because I know that everyone's basically pulling teeth at this point to figure out.
Yeah, but is there anyone you're trying to gun for that I can help you with, or?
Man, I'm thinking maybe Carlo. I hate doing it, but I think that he actually could have some later success down the road in this game, and that's not what I want to deal with. So I'm thinking maybe him.
Here we go now. Phill,
Yes.
get an immunity win.
Yes.
How important is it at the final 7 to be safe for this vote?
It's fair. I think every one is very important at this time, and they just get more and more and more important to have immunity. Every vote just gets more and more critical because there's not many left.
And so, Corey, As the numbers start to dwindle, does who you want to take to the end become a factor?
Actually, with the way that I play, not so much. Because typically the way that I play is that I like to go to the end with the people that I say I'm going to go to the end with. I like to think that I'm able to talk to people whenever I'm there. So my thought comes down to your argument for swaying the jury more so than having the people sitting next to you that you can like easily beat or something like that.
So Austin, with Corey saying all of this, who do you think left in the game is the biggest threat?
The way that everyone's playing right now, I mean, we even saw it in the last challenge. Like, it comes down to the very last second for a lot of these things. So everyone essentially has their own bullseye on their back right now. You know, in my honest opinion, like, you have your people that you can trust, but at the same point, the good people, like the people that are getting better and better, are going to get down to the wire, and then it's always, do you trust the loyalty and everything that you've had, or do you want to make a statement? I would say there's potential for a lot of people. In fact, I'm even myself as the biggest threat in the game. You know, not tooting my own horn.
Yeah, and Karen, I'm going to ask you the same question there. Who do you think's the biggest threat right now?
Well, there's a lot of things, like a lot of factors that go into a threat.
Talk to me about the factors.
Ability, there's strategy, I mean, challenge performance, but also who is your jury. And minis are a little different because you don't have like a lot of time to like really think or really get to know the jury or really like plan everything. It's just, you got to think quick and just, I feel like it's more of just like what's going to get you to the next round. It just depends. Like, one person who would win, you know, say this season, maybe wouldn't win the next one if they got to the end, because it just really depends on the jury, like how you get there, how you treat people. I don't know what the jury values. So, yeah.
And David, where do you feel that you stand in this game right now?
Oh, at the bottom. It's quite clear. I don't think I have a whole lot going on right now, but I do have a proposal to everyone remaining on making a big move. From where I sit, the person that's kind of running things right now is Corey. He seems to be kind of coming up with a lot of the plans. I think he's playing the best game remaining. But that's me from the outside. You know, I don't know how it would look at
the thing is, I understand where you're coming from with that, but the thing is, it's just, I'm not afraid to ask somebody, hey, listen, let's go talk in another room. Like, and I mix it around. So it can come off that way.
Absolutely. So, but, you know, in the game of telephone, in terms of people telling people what to do, I think a lot of the people coming up with a plan is you. And, you know, if you are in this game and you're looking at what moves did I make, you know, what moves did I orchestrate, and you realize you haven't done any, that you haven't been the one that orchestrated a move, you're not playing the game to win right now. And what I'm proposing what I believe is happening is that you're going to be splitting the votes, probably between me and Carlo. And if there's 3 people voting one way, 2 voting another, all you need is one person that's voting from the 3 to flip to vote with me and Carlo. Just one person. And then that would be enough to have majority. That's if I'm correct on the split, but I think you're probably splitting. So all I'm asking is for one person that's part of the 3 to vote for Corey. That's it. That's the move.
Yeah, I think it's unavoidable because eventually the honeymoon will be over, and leftovers like me and David will be required in order for one side to get the upper end. That's basically the pitch that I made with all of you guys. So,
well, one of the things that I would say, David, is that in my experience, a lot of the times that jury members take into consideration is, are you the one who made the move on your own, or did somebody else get you to do it? Whereas that person can sometimes, if they can sway someone else to make a move, then they end up getting some of the credit for that move. It doesn't end up being your move. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but you don't deny that you're the one telling people, you know.
I'm not telling anybody what to do. I'm talking with people and saying, hey, listen, is this what we want to do?
Absolutely.
I'm forward, and I'm able to ask people
I'm just talking. I'm just
do.
talking to every other person in the game that hasn't been the one that came up with the plan. I'm talking to everyone else.
Who's to say they haven't come up with a plan?
Get to Final Tribal, you do want to be the person. You want to at least have one move in the game, one big move in the game that you made, or that you were behind, or that you were not just someone that voted in a way that was come up by someone else. And that's all I'm encouraging each of you to do. If I go to the jury tonight, I know that's something I'll be looking for.
But theoretically, let's say that we were doing that, and somebody decided to do what you're saying to do. Theoretically, if that's what we were doing, then who gets the credit for that move? Do they get the credit for the move, or do you get the credit for the move for having swayed them?
That's a fair point. I would probably get some credit for voicing it, but they would get a lot of credit if they got to the end. And here's the thing: if I'm not at the end and they are, then it's they get the credit because they get the move that worked out in their favor. So it's whoever makes the move and then gets to the end that gets the credit. In my mind.
That's if you get to the end.
But that's the thing.
That's a big if. I think one way or another, everybody had some plans, and obviously some plans didn't go as people wanted to go. So is it a big move? Was it not a big move? Maybe things that I was considering would have been great if it had been pulled through. Obviously right now it's not the case, but everybody had some plans up to this point. Maybe not as big as that. That will be up to the jury, whoever is left, to decide.
Yeah, because also if somebody was to make that move and go with you, well, then they have to make sure that you two aren't there, because then you two would get more credit than the person that would flip.
I don't know if that's necessarily true. Plus they might have been making other moves ahead of time as well.
Well, so that's what I'm saying is that it's not like it's been one person making all the moves. People are saying what they want to do, and then when there's a group, they come to a consensus about what's the best thing to do.
No, I'm just saying, if you want to make a big move, voting off me and Carlo is not a big move. That is not something that's going to build your resume. It's just, hitting one of the sitting ducks. But if you want to make a move, tonight's an opportunity.
Are you a sitting duck?
I think I am, yeah.
Yeah? What about what you could potentially have in your pocket?
It's 5 versus 2. Do you want me to empty out my pockets? Oh my gosh. I got a cell phone. Let's see here.
You're the one with the virtual.
Got my wallet.
You should know by now if he has something or not.
I don't know. Because if you did have the idol, David, then you've been displaying that you're willing to hold on to it and not use it on other people up until this point. If you did have it.
Well, yeah, but I also, if I were to have an idol, I also didn't know who you were voting for. I'm not just going to play an idol willy-nilly without having a strong inclination. I wouldn't waste an idol. But if I were to have an idol, I would really love the feeling of that. But I'm not the only one that got a clue to the idol. I know that for a fact.
Jeremy, you just hear David say he's not the only one that got a clue to an idol. How are you feeling about that?
I feel like I would say that I was surprised, but after playing a game, anything can happen. And so seeing that someone else got a clue to the hidden immunity idol, it's shocking. I know I didn't get it, but I know twists and turns come through this game every second, so.
I, for one, would love to know from David, who else got another clue for an idol?
Yeah.
Who knows for a fact?
How do you know that?
And how would I know that?
Yeah.
All I can say is that part of the twist of my idol was that I had to share the clue with someone else from the other tribe. And I had to share it with someone in this very tribal and had to try
from the other tribe. It was during the individual stage of the game.
It was during the individual stage, but it was specifically someone else that was from the other tribe in the freshly merged tribe. So each of us got half of the clue, and we had to put the clues together in order to do it. So then once the clues were put together, it was either me or that person. Again, they are sitting here tonight. If they want to out themselves, they can. If not, I will just let that go as a seed. But yeah, that's it.
Phill,
Yeah.
David's dropping some bombs left and right. What's your mind?
If
What
it's
direction are
true,
you going in right now?
I'm
if
kinda
what he
surprised
says is true, because that seems awful odd. You know, I'm not entirely sure that that's possible.
Mhm. Yeah, I've never heard of a situation where somebody has to share an idol clue with someone from the other tribe after the merge has happened.
Expect the unexpected.
Yeah, but who knows?
I suppose, but
Yeah.
I mean, that's a very specific thing to make up. I guarantee you it happened, but
we still had access to Messenger then, so it could theoretically be possible. So it's surprising, but yes, considering that I haven't heard about anything idol-wise until the thing that where we had to make the choice if we wanted to compete on it or not. That does make sense that like more than one person had access to some knowledge, and I'm not surprised of that twist, considering.
Austin, after hearing everything that has gone down at this tribal council, is your mind completely made up on who you're voting for?
Mine is made up of who I'm voting for, but about everything else, it's a little muddy. And that's not a bad thing. It's just that there's so much information that's literally being thrown out that it's taken a while for my brain to process the whole thing. So, vote will go into consideration. But yeah, it's exhausting. That's what it is. Mentally draining, to say the least.
Does anyone else want to say anything before we get to this vote?
Let's see if he can put money where his mouth is.
A lot of consideration, but my vote is going to stay on Carlo.
Corey needs to go. Please tell me this is the good one. Third time's the charm.
I'm gonna have my work cut out for me if I get through this round. Thanks to you, David. But good game, buddy, and I appreciate it.
I hope this Hail Mary works, and that someone from the three that's splitting the vote does come and vote with me and Carlo on Corey.
All right. If anybody has an immunity idol, play it now.
I did find something in the bushes here, and I think I would like to play it.
David does have the hidden immunity idol, so all votes cast for David will not count. All right. I'll read the votes. David does not count. Carlo. Corey. David does not count. 1 vote Carlo, 1 vote Corey. Corey. Carlo. David does not count. We are tied. 2 votes Carlo, 2 votes Corey. Carlo and Corey cannot vote. The rest of you will be asked to revote.
I'm going with my gut. I'm going to stick with Carlo.
Nothing personal.
Thank you.
Well, I know it's futile, but I'm going to be consistent and say Corey. This is the 4th time in a row I've wrote his name down, and I don't think this is going to do it either.
All right. I'll read the votes. Corey. Carlo. Carlo, you've been voted out. You're the 3rd member of our jury.
Best of luck, guys. It's been a
Good game, Carlo.
Well, it was kind of foreseeable considering that somebody Phill backstab us early on, and then it was number. Like, can't blame him. He did a move. Like, I thought we had something going on that could have lasted until like final 5, final 3. Like, in the end, the big plan was that Phill and Ryan were maybe not in our plans of me and David and Annie and I. So it is Phill made the first move, and props to him. I have no regrets, and it was a blast to play. My first experience, hopefully not the last, if you guys will have me again. And I had nothing but a good time.